Welcome everybody to another great episode of Real Life Matters. Of course, I'm your girl here, DBoss, and I'm just telling you, support the guests that come on, buy the merchandise, order their stuff. It just takes a minute to do that. Yes, I know you got to cost a little bit of money, but that's okay. But today I got two special guests on here for us, and they're in the fashion industry, but only men's fashion industry. We have to be very clear. So I have creative director and CEO of his own line, naming his own Rhowan James. And I have his assistant, Jason Bennett, is also his stylist. And he also works for Rhowan James. So welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, Dee. How you doing?
Good.
All right. So that's no problem. So Rhowan, where did you come from and what's your background? Can you tell everybody?
My background is I'm Canadian, but my background is Jamaican. Yes.
Okay. So do you know what part of Jamaica your family's from? Because people are gonna ask me.
Oh, okay. My mom. I gotta know this.
If you don't know, but have you been there or no?
Oh, I've been there many a time. Yes. So,
okay.
My mother's from Portland, and my father's from St. Mary. So those two parishes on the northern coast. Yes.
All right. Okay. And Jason Bennett.
Yes.
Mr.
Hey.
Star.
All right. My parents are I'm Canadian as well, born here. My parents are from Trinidad. They're Trini. And my mom's from St. James.
To the bone.
Trini to the bone. My mom's from St. James and my dad's from the bush, Toko.
Well, I never even knew you were. I thought you were from Jamaica. Really, I didn't. I thought. Well, see how you were so wrong. So, all right. So how did you meet Mr. Star, Rhowan James?
Okay, so we met. I've known him for a while, but just hi, how are you? Nice to see you. Just friendly. We had gone over to our friend. I can't remember, Cheryl and Michael. I think we went over to their house for a barbecue, and our other friend Camille had asked, "Hey, Rhowan, how's your fashion line coming?" Right? And he said, "Oh, it's good." And I asked him. I saw him, and I looked at him, and I said, "You have a line? You have a collection?" He's like, "Yeah, I do." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And just kind of brush it off, just not really paid attention. Because at the time, like everybody was having their own fashion line and their own collection, and you look at it and you're like, it's okay, yeah, this piece is nice, that piece is nice, but no one had like a really nice full collection, and especially menswear. So a few weeks later, I saw on Facebook that he was going to be showcasing, in New York at Small Boutique Fashion Week. So I was like, oh, well, I like New York, and it's on a Saturday, so I won't be missing work. I'm like, if I leave the Saturday morning, I can get there. Like, I was planning all this out in my head. I'm like, yeah. I'm so going for it. So I messaged him. I said, how much are the tickets? Let me know. He's like, you would come? I'm like, yeah. He's like, are you flying? I said, no, I'm driving. He's like, you would drive to New York? I'm like, yeah, it's down the street. I can get there in like 7 hours. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay, well. So I bought my ticket and drove down. But what ended up happening was the producer of the show ended up getting into a car accident and he had to postpone it.
Oh.
So I was already down there and he's like, Jay, unfortunately, the show got canceled. I'm like, oh, okay. So what are you doing now? He's like, well, I'm actually going to Century 21. And for people that don't know, Century 21 is a huge department store of labels. So picture, I don't know, in Toronto, maybe like Eaton Center
or the Bay,
yeah,
or like
the Bay, or the Bay, yeah. Of like just levels.
Oh yeah, that is that store. I remember that store.
Of just all designer, like menswear, women's wear, children's wear, shoes, accessories, bags, purses, wallets, everything. So he's like, meet me down there and we'll talk, we'll hang out. I'm like, cool, nothing doing. So I took the train from the Bronx into Manhattan, and we met up at Century 21, and we were just looking at things, browsing, talking, laughing. Then we decided to walk. And if anybody that knows New York, you do nothing but walk, right? So we ended up walking from
and no
like
washrooms either, unless you're in the business.
right, that's right.
So,
Because we had to go to the bathroom, and we actually went into a hotel and used the bathroom.
yes.
You
Oh,
know,
you got
because
to let you use it?
yeah,
yeah.
they did.
Oh,
They did.
because sometimes they'll
So
stop you and hold on.
exactly, but no, they let us use the bathroom. But we walked from like oh my gosh, like World Trade Center area, you know,
Wow.
to Times Square, you know. So we walked through
That's a
NoHo,
bit of a walk.
Soho.
That's a
Right.
big walk.
That's
yeah.
a big walk. So we walked through NoHo, Soho, Boho, Croho,
Yeah,
all of
Soho.
them, right? Just going in and out of stores, boutiques, whether they were selling designer stuff, whether it was shoes, whatever. Just talking, going in. So we decided now. We got to Times Square. We're hungry. It's been like 3 or 4 hours, right? So we decided to go into this place called Bonchon, right, which is Korean barbecue around I think 37th or 38th Street. And we're sitting down there eating, drinking, talking, and stuff like that. He's like, Jay, have you ever seen my collection? I said, no. So he brings out his lookbook at the time, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. I open it and I'm like, I want that. I want that. I want 2 of those. I want that bag. I want those shoes. And he's like, I'm like, you did all of this? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all of it? He's like, yeah. I was like, just flabbergasted, And he said,
I know.
I'm just having a hard time right now because I need some help with my website. And I'm like, dude, I work for Shopify right now. I'm like, that's what we do, right? I said, I can help you, right? Build your website and get people coming to your website and everything like that. And he's like, really? I said, yeah. And I said, from this point on, you don't need anybody else.
Right.
I'm your guy, And that was July of 2017, and here we are, 2022.
Yep.
Right.
So it was.
So you're 2022. You're doing fashion. So I see here, Sir Walter Fashionista. Nisto.
Yep. That's my handle on. Yep, that's my handle on Instagram.
I see him there.
Yeah.
Oh no, did we freeze again?
I think so. D, can you hear us?
Yes, we're here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
So you're Mr. Fashion. So Rhowan, so
yes.
What made you want to get into the fashion industry?
For me, it all started with a need. It actually started.
What made you want to get into the fashion industry?
It started off as a hobby. Starting my business as a designer. In 2008, I decided to pick up a hobby because I loved fashion. I love sewing. And mind you, I haven't sewn anything since elementary school. So I decided to give myself a challenge. At this time, I was not working. It was a crash of 2008, and I was home and I was bored out of my mind. So I said, you know what? Let me do something. So I had a sewing machine there, and I had my favorite Zara jacket. And I kind of laid it out, traced out the pattern, and I began to sew it. But the thing is, it had some fit issues. I knew nothing about pattern making, nothing about sizing, grading, anything like that with regards to sewing. And after a while,
don't ask me. I can't sew nothing. I did that home ec course. It wasn't successful.
Oh wow. Okay. It takes practice. It takes
a lot of practice.
A lot of practice.
And I think I'm with a lot of other people there too.
Yes. So after many tries, I finished the jacket. I put it on. It fits somewhat okay. Had some fit issues, but I was like, okay, this is the first. Okay, let's see if we can do another one. So I did another one, and then another one after that. And I said, okay, this could be a thing. I can actually start making my own clothes. So in my travels, I decided to go to like Milan, London, Paris, and pick up books on pattern making just so that I knew what I was doing. Very hard to find books, but I was able to find them, acquire them, and learn from them, you know. So um, from that point, I was like, okay, this could be a thing. So in 2017, I decided, okay, I want to launch my own collection, right? So the story
Oh,
goes
2017? Wow, that's a
2017.
long time.
Yeah, 2017. So between 2008 and 2017 was my learning years about construction, pattern making, all that stuff, right? So I decided to, okay, you know, let's. There was a competition out there called the EMDA, and which is the Emerging Menswear Designer Award that took place at TOM, which is Toronto Men's Fashion Week. So I entered myself for the very first time, and I wasn't expecting much. I just want to see where.
Can I stop you guys? Can I stop you for
Sure.
1 second?
Yes.
He's forgetting a small piece of this puzzle. He had a broken ankle.
Oh
Oh,
yes. Oh
He had
yes.
a broken ankle and he was still sewing on the broken ankle.
Yes.
So kind
so
of
pressing
sewing
the pedal with the broken foot.
No, with the good foot.
with the good foot. But here's the thing: his atelier or his shop, right,
Achilles.
is in the basement, right?
Mhm.
And as you know, with the broken ankle, you can't have it hanging down, right? So you
Yeah.
need it elevated. So he would have to go up and down the stairs like every, I don't know, what, 2 or 3 hours
Yeah.
to rest it for an hour. So
Yeah.
imagine like waking up at 9 o'clock, going downstairs, right, sewing for 2 hours, going back upstairs on a broken ankle, resting it for an hour, then back downstairs. And that was how he made his first collection.
Yes.
Proceed.
Yes. So I sent in my application, all that stuff that they needed. And what happened was, to my amazement, I'll never forget it. It was a Sunday morning, and I heard my phone ding, right? And so I looked at my phone. I was still half asleep. So I looked at my phone and I opened the message box and said, "Congratulations, you are now one of the contestants for the Emerging Menswear Designer Award." I was like,
We're now a
"Oh,
part
that."
of.
I was like, "Oh, okay," and I shut down my phone and I went back to sleep. So, so
Typical Rhowan.
it was typical me. So then after a while, I had to come to myself. I was like, did I read what I read, or was that a dream? So I fully woke myself up, opened my phone again, and I saw the message. And you know when you do those silent screams in the house because you don't want to wake up everybody. So I did one of those, and then after that, I went through the whole process of, you know.
Well, we're here. We're just waiting for everybody to come back in.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, do you want me to continue? Okay.
D, can you hear us?
I think we're frozen again.
Yeah, I think so too. Yep.
Oh,
she gone. She gone.
Okay.
Well, continue the story.
Well, it's recording, right? So, yeah. So after that, we made. Oh, she's back again. You're back again.
Yes, I don't. One thing I'm thank God for this network and stuff, that even if I'm out, the thing still goes on.
That's right.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Yes.
The show must go on.
The show must go on.
The show must go on.
I don't know what's happening today, but it's okay. It's all good.
Yes.
All good.
So what happened? So go ahead.
So after I got the notification that I was nominated for this award, we had to do fittings. I had to speak in front of the judges. And the funny thing is, the story goes, myself and Jason, we both went to the fittings, right? Because we were going to showcase for the competition. And I was the last to arrive. There were 4 other designers before me.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened was, I started on. We put the garment bags onto the hangers, onto the rack, and we started unloading the stuff. And all you can hear was oohs and ahs
And gasps.
and gasps
Yeah. Like,
in the room.
oh my gosh.
So, and the funny thing is, I had to go back. I had to reach back.
And that's for the men's clothes.
This is for the men's
Yeah.
clothes.
Wow.
So the night before, this is the part I forgot. So the night before, myself and Jason said, you know what? This is going to be a multicultural show. So we're going to have a range of different types of models.
Yeah.
And we wanted to kind of say, let's be proactive and say, okay, if we get a Chinese guy, Asian guy, sorry, we can fit him in this. If a black guy, we can fit him in this. You know, so we kind of foresaw what was happening, and when we got there, everything that we planned happened. So we had perfectly. So what happened was, after we got all the models into their attire, then I pulled out the bags. The bags were the gaspers. Like, if everyone was gasping, like, oh,
what do you mean? What type
yeah.
of bags? You mean like a duffel bag or?
I had 5 types of bags. I had a tote. I had a portfolio, backpack, a overnighter, and a duffel bag. So all 5, yes. So I had all of them, all in black and gold.
And he sewed it himself.
I sold them myself.
Guys, it's not to say that it was outsourced to another country. He did it himself. I've seen him create this by himself.
Well, I'm gonna bring a couple of fabrics so you can make me a bag.
Sure.
I want one big bag.
Okay.
With some pockets, and it's light and it's durable, and you can just grab it, push everything in, and it holds your stuff and go.
Yeah. So
go ahead.
After that, I was able to see all the models, see the whole collection, and I was quite happy. After that, I was able to speak with the judges, tell them my story, my background, how this came to be, showed them my bags, and they were in awe that I did the bags as well as part of the collection as accessories.
So everybody had their money ready?
People were asking, how much is this bag?
Jason was the collector.
How much is this bag, Rhowan?
Yeah.
I see it. I want it. How much is it?
And the funny thing is that at the time we didn't know prices. We hadn't. He's like, well, I'm just kind of, getting a few details together and everything like that. Yeah.
Yeah. We just finished everything.
Yeah.
Right. So, but the thing is, I had to speak to the judges, and the judges were asking about pricing, price points,
so you
all
didn't
that
think
stuff.
To price it, or you didn't in your mind? You just was
on the spot.
Well, that's
I did it on the spot. I made those numbers up.
Yep.
I was just like, okay, this bag is this much. This bag is that much. Where do you see yourself? Oh, I saw myself at Selfridges, Hope Renfrew, blah blah blah. I answered them rapidly. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew my story. I knew where I wanted to go, what I'm about, what the collection was about, and I just kind of conveyed that to the judges.
Okay.
So a day after,
I could just see Jason. Look, we got that's $200.
Higher.
That's 500. Look, that's 500 today.
Yeah.
So after that, I went to go see another show the next day, and someone in the background pulled me over, yanked me over, and was just pointing at me for some reason. I guess people were talking about my collection behind the scenes, and word got around. So I was just like, what's going on? I have no idea what's going. After that, the day after was the show. So I was the last to present. So I wasn't too worried about the 2 other designers, the first 2. I was like, okay, whatever.
They already psyched them out, or you
right. So the third designer, I was like, ooh.
The third designer did a really good collection.
Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah.
When the first 2, because I was front of the house, looking at the show, and I'm like, the first one, I'm like, yeah, okay. Second was like, nah, okay. The third one, I was like, oh damn. I'm like, Houston, we've got a problem.
Yeah.
Because not that Rhowan's collection wasn't as good, but his collection was very strong.
Yeah, it was
and
very strong.
and it had a story to go with it. And I was just like, and that's when I started sweating. I'm like, oh Lord Jesus, help me. Whew.
Yeah,
But
it was tough.
yeah,
But
it was really tough.
but after I showed my collection, and they all called us out, and they all asked us, hey, um, so what do you think about this whole competition? And we gave like one word answers. It was awesome, it was great, whatever, whatever. After that, so they called one of the judges up. Oh, she's gone again. Um, they called one of the judges out and asked, out of all of the designers, who do you think it was, right? So one of the judges said that we wanted to give this award to the designer who had the most entrepreneurial spirit. And when he said that,
I remember that.
I was like, oh my gosh, it's me. Oh my gosh, it's me. I can't believe
I
it.
was backstage with our crew, you know what I mean? And I'm pacing. I'm like, oh my gosh, stomach is in my throat. I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I'm like, come on, just say his name, just say his name, just say his name. And when they said I screamed out. I think if there's video, you can hear me in the back. Yes, yes, we got it.
So
We
I'm
did it.
hearing, because people were like, they were screaming at the top of their lungs at the back, and I couldn't hear them.
So
I could
funny.
not even hear them.
It was
So I
so
was
good.
like, couldn't believe. I could not believe. But that's the whole premise of how Rhowan James, the brand, got started.
Yeah.
I was quite happy with what I created, and it gave me the opportunity to do a follow-up collection, and for fall winter of 2018. So, and that was that kind of stretched me. It was good to produce, but I did
It was
not know.
stressful.
It was stressful to
It
create
was
a
very
collection
stressful.
in less than 5 months,
September,
roughly.
November, March. Yeah, it was 4 months.
4 months,
It
yeah,
was 4 months.
4 months. But listen, we got it handled. The show had to go on,
Yep.
even though pretty much the collection was like 90% done, but the most of the time was doing buttons. So that has always been like the bane of my existence, sewing on buttons for shirts and coats and stuff like that, to the point where when I was doing my finale walk, my jacket had
Your jacket.
I just made the jacket, and the jacket had no
button on it.
So one of my assistants, Ricardo, had to pin me in from the inside. So I'm like, I'm hoping this pin doesn't bust and poke me in my stomach.
Well, think about it this way. You're like Olivia Newton-John. She had to be sewn into her Grease outfit. You had to be sewn into your blazer for the show.
I sure did. I sure did. But no one knows, like, even though, like, the funny thing is, like,
you forgot.
I forgot a lot of
You
stuff.
forgot. And then it wasn't until we went to the restaurant later on that night, you're like, wait a second, I'm missing a button. I'm like, what? Where are you missing a button? And you said, right here. And you showed me. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh, one thing I did forget was when I did the finale walk, I had one shoe on, one pair of socks
Here
on.
we are.
That's it. New York Fashion Week was very interesting, to say the least. I've never been in that situation before, because I'm coming from a place that was very highly organized, and coming into New York, it was chaos.
So let me just kind of sidestep here and just say that of all the shows that we have ever been a part of, whether it's in New York, Toronto, Montreal, the Toronto Men's Fashion Week was the best run, the best produced, the best shown.
Yes.
It was just it's a level that we are yet to have again.
Yes.
And it can be imitated, but it can never be duplicated.
That's right.
Yeah. It was just that high of a level of production. Backstage, everybody had their own section. You had your own dressers. You had
so how do you know which fashion to do for a man of what size? How do you figure that out? You just kind of
I
look
always,
at them,
if it's a client pretty much, I always ask them creative stuff. What's in your closet? What are you looking for? Where are you going? What event is it? How do you feel? Because I don't do your regular kind of suits, right? So I pretty much I kind of push my clients to go a little bit further, not to the point where they're out of their comfort zone, but something along the lines of making them look a little bit better, whether it be changing the color of their suiting, or the type of style they're presenting,
Their fit.
um, their fit as well.
Yeah.
Those are the things that I kind of look into, and I kind of involve them in the creative process with regards to like trying to find um, fabrics for them so they don't have to look at a book full of fabrics and get overwhelmed of which ones to pick. I will choose the best ones for you. Because since I know what your skin color is, your tone, I know what you're going for, I pretty much know how to make your outfit look the best. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And from past clientele, they would wear, one of my suits that I made for them, and the comments, the amount of
Compliments.
compliments,
Yeah.
they couldn't like their face hurt because they smiled so much they couldn't stop. And usually these are the guys that like to stay behind the scenes and do the work and stuff like that. But they were so happy, they're so pleased. They've never been the center of attention before, and now that they've kind of walked into it, some of them are more confident about who they are and who they want to represent because of, what I gave them as a design. So
And you
um,
While
see
we're
and
here,
you also see it,
just taking a moment.
you also see it like when you're part of the fashion shows, right? And you see the
To make
same
sure.
model walk for other designers, and they're walking and they're just like, yeah, okay. And then when they put on, like, even if it's a tracksuit, or they're putting on trunks that Rowan made, or a suit, but when you see them and they have their shoulders back, and they're upright and they're proud to walk in, you can tell a difference between the models between one show and another show and a
that's
Rowan
right.
show.
Yes.
And the models will come up afterwards and just say, you know what, I loved your stuff. Anytime you need me to walk for you, call me.
Whenever
And
whenever there's a show and Rowan
yeah,
James is showing,
call
like
me, call me. I'm
like
your guy.
yeah,
And they would model for free.
yeah,
If they're not signed, right, they would model for free, and it's not a problem. We can call on. We have guys in New York, Montreal, and Toronto that we
yes,
can call at any point in time and just say, hey, we're having a show here in a week. Can you come, tomorrow and do a fitting, and we'll fit you, and everything will be done. No problem, no problem whatsoever, because
no
they know
problem.
they're getting that level of quality, and it's going to help their it's going to help them in their model book, their portfolio, you know.
Yes, it's
So
all it's all about the coming to a Rowan James show.
yeah,
There's a high expectation of what to expect. You never know what's coming around the corner.
hmm
There's always a level of classicism. There's always sophistication. There's always an edge, and it keeps the viewer entertained. It keeps the guests entertained. When it comes to pulling any of my stuff for magazine shoots or video shoots, whatever, they come to me first. You know what I'm saying? Because it's something different that they're looking for. It's something that will shoot very well. And it's something that no one else can find.
hmm
Okay. So you dress the person from head to toe.
Head to toe. Yes.
the full look.
The full look.
So it's not like even down to like accessories and like
Wow.
oh no, I took it off. But Rowan makes bracelets. He makes the lapel flower. It's like it's all of that. You know what I mean? And when it comes down to the styling of it, it's like, okay, hat, no hat, glasses, no glasses. What jewelry? If it's an open shirt, we need something that will kind of like dangle slightly, but not like an open chest like he's Tony Montana. You know, it's the shoes, whether it's a loafer, whether it's a slide, whether it's, there's so many different things. For men, I want to say it's a little bit more difficult than dressing a woman, because a woman is just, bra in a dress, zip up, shoes, gone. You know what I mean? But well, I mean,
whatever, hair
and hair, makeup. I know. but for a guy, right? It's the shirt, it's the tie,
Okay.
it's the cufflinks, it's the accessories, the jewelry, it's the shoes, it's the pants, it's the belt, it's what I mean. It's the hat. Is it earrings? No earrings. Tattoos? No tattoos. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
there's just a little bit more for styling a man than it is different for a woman.
So have you already came out with your fall collection for 2022, or you're doing a winter line, or what's going to happen?
Right now, currently, I just showcased my red carpet collection. So it's pretty much a suit collection for the red carpet. And
I'll put that in so people can see.
Yes, there's a lookbook as well that people can look at. And for me, what's next? Hopefully, getting prepared to going to New York for September 2023, but it takes a lot of preparation, a lot of money, and a lot of hours, time to create
that's
something.
Probably why you grow the locks.
Yes.
So that way you don't have to worry about.
Yeah. That's right.
And then Jason's going into a different style altogether. So
growing it out, gotta do what I gotta do.
vos y yo en el triste carnaval, una música brutal, melodías de dolor. Una música brutal encendió nuestra pasión. Yo en el triste carnaval, una música brutal, melodías de dolor. Una música brutal encendió nuestra pasión.
Okay, so we're gonna be looking out for Rhowan, and we're gonna looking out for everything that you do. So, you want to give any shout outs to people that you've been working with? You could go ahead first, Jason, or you yourself.
Take it away.
Shout outs. I would say my mother has been a big supporter of my brand. My family has been as well, so I'm really, really happy with that. Shout out to all my stylist friends who have pulled from me, all the magazines that have supported me, and the fans that follow me on Instagram and social media, help to
And
make
come
my
to the
brand.
shows.
I come to the shows, I'm truly, truly grateful. Hopefully, I would love to do a show in the Caribbean soon. I would love to do a show out in the States as well, and hopefully, in next year, I hope to have
What
my
about
own
Dubai?
Dubai too. Yes,
Woo!
absolutely.
People got money down there, boy.
Yes, they sure
Monet.
do.
Monet.
Ching ching.
Um, yeah. So hopefully, I would like to have my own show here in Toronto where it's special guests and the boss can be front row, taking in
Well,
all,
I'm coming.
taking it
I'm
all.
coming.
All right, you're front row, a front row.
Better head. Better
But
head.
I'm getting my gold jacket.
Okay.
All
The
right.
gold
And Jason,
jacket.
do you have anybody you want to shout out? The gold one with the black one with the gold spots on it. He knows exactly
Okay.
what it is.
I know
Or
which one.
or you can change it up a little bit for me because I usually wear a lot of men's jackets because my arms are long.
Okay.
So, mhm.
Okay. We can
Cool.
fulfill that. Yes.
It's just the front, that's
That's okay.
too much information. All right, Jason, who do you want to shout out?
I want to shout out, my family that, anytime that I need to go, I need to leave, I come home at 2 o'clock in the morning from, Rowan's place, helping him sew together a cape or a white tracksuit. And then, 4 hours later, leaving for the show. I want to thank the models. We've had some and worked with some amazing, fantastic models. The agencies that we've worked with,
Yes.
the casting agents, the directors, Hans, Jeff Rustia, rest in peace, Sasha, Rashi. Oh my gosh, there's so many people. Just the people that shout us out on Instagram and come to the shows and are willing participants in the Rhowan James brand. And one last person I have to thank is Rhowan himself for bringing me along on this journey, and it's been amazing, and I can't wait for more.